Good morning, everybody. Today we're still on the 2001 Honda Shadow Sabre 1100, and I'm getting ready to do, I guess you call it a tune-up or clean-up. I'm going to go ahead and replace the spark plugs because, so far it doesn't look like maintenance has been kept up on the bike. So I want to make sure that I get the spark plugs changed, and I'm going to change the oil. I've already done uh, the rear end oil, the rear diff oil, the rear planetary oil, whatever you call it. Final drive oil, there you go. And I'll put that at the end of this video. So you probably won't hear me sign off because that's going to be at the end. I already made the video. I did that whenever I changed the rear tire and did the brakes and all that kind of stuff to the back end. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started and change the spark plugs. This is what I bought. I bought the NGK resistor plug, what it's supposed to have in it, and they're a DPR. I can't even see it. They're a DPR 7EA and a number 9 heat range, and that's what the book calls for standard operating. And these are 18 millimeter socket. I went ahead and took them out of the box. As you can see, there verifies authenticity. So sometimes you could get these knockoff NGK plugs. I paid a little bit more, I think, and got the genuine ones. At least I hope that they are. I checked the book and to find out what the gap was on it, and it says it's between 31 and 35 thousandths. And I checked all mine, and this is a 32, and it fits perfectly in all four of those. So I'm going to go ahead and get started in putting those plugs in. We'll go ahead and take the boot off with these boot removal pliers. I covered up some of the chrome because I know it's probably kind of hard to see in the video with the reflection. This thing has so much chrome on it. Kind of curious to see what the spark plugs look like. That's not grabbing the spark plug too good. They're the same spark plug that I bought. Looks like it's burning a little bit rich to me. But it's not too bad, just a little rich. We'll see how close these are. That's 32 and it's really loose. Let's try 35, it's the biggest one I have. 35 just barely goes in, so these plugs don't have a whole lot of wear on them. They might have been replaced before, which is okay. I just soon make sure that they're good. It's not a very hard thing to change the plugs. And you want to make sure that the engine's cold when you do this. You don't want to be changing these plugs on a hot engine. Take a chance on stripping out the cylinder head. Well, that one's got some carbon up in it. A little bit of buildup. But it looks like it's burning a little bit better. That rear one looked a little bit rich. This one looks almost perfect. But like I say, it's got some carbon chunks in there or something. We'll have to see what the cylinder on the back on the other side looks like, spark plug. It just might be rich on this one carburetor. I think the torque on these is like 120 inch-pounds. Make sure that clicks in there good too. All right, let's go to the other side. All right, we'll take this boot off. That one wasn't even tight. Oh yeah, that one looks really good. That front carburetor is definitely burning correctly. Looks good. I like using this ratchet. I've talked about this ratchet before because the handle's not real long on it, but I hate this switch on top. It's backwards. I get confused with it all the time. Alright, now I'll take this back one out. These boot pliers are kind of handy. It helps you from ripping the wire out of the boot whenever you go to take the wire off. I mean, when you go to take the boot off the spark plug. Now, if this one's rich, I may have to address this rear carburetor. Actually, it might be a little bit on the rich side. I don't think it's something that needs dealt with, but this one's got some carbon on it too. I wonder why that rear cylinder's got a little bit of carbon in it. Kind of odd. But it doesn't look bad. That's one thing I like to, that's why I like to do maintenance on stuff. I like to keep an eye on stuff and see how things are going. See how the bike's doing, make sure it's not burning oil. Plugs have no oil burning signs on it. Looks like the carburetors are adjusted pretty decent. Okay, to get a better look of them side by side, this is what they look like. This was the rear bank, this was the front bank. They look really good, I think. I'm happy with it. Now we'll go ahead and start it up and make sure that it starts good and everything. I wanted to show you this before I do that. I changed out my levers. I put some chrome ones on it. What I like about them is these are thicker this way and they feel more comfortable. They got a nice rounded edge on them, especially over here on the clutch. I guess the guy had dropped it before because the end of this was bent this way, and that was kind of a pain to try to reach that far. It's closer now because it seemed like it was way out here. It was hurting my fingers trying to pull it, but I think it's better now. This doesn't really come out far enough. I would like this to be about another inch long, but I always ride with my hand up here. I'll show you. Always ride with my hand right here. Anyway, I don't ride out here. I ride it up here. So I have plenty enough room. And I lubricated the cable while I was at it. I took it out and I put my, I've got some cable lube, Motion Pro cable lube, and I got that little tool that goes on here. Well, what I wanted to share with you is if you go to do this, don't push your cable in too far, you know, because you want to move your cable a little bit to get that lube to go down in there. You don't want to push it in too far because it will come loose down there. Ask me how I know. And my problem was it has one nut down here at the bottom and two push pins at the top, and these push pins would not come out. I was prying on them, spraying stuff on them. I couldn't get the cover off. So I just pulled it enough out the bottom where I could reattach it back on there. But I just wanted to caution you, if you do this, don't push this cable in too far, because it could come out down here at the bottom. Okay, let's go ahead and start it. It hasn't been started this morning, so I'm going to put the choke full on. Pull the clutch in. Oh yeah, sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and let the engine run a little bit, let it warm up, and then I'm going to go ahead and change the oil in it and the filter. And then this maintenance should be pretty much caught up. I still need to change the fluid, brake fluid in my front brake. I think that's about all I have left. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started on the oil change. I'm going to warm this up, and then I'll get back with you once the engine's warmed up enough to drop the oil. Today I'm going to change the hypoid gear oil in the final drive. And hopefully it's got something in it. Ooh, that one's tight. Let's get a socket on it. There we go. Whew. That thing was way tighter than it needed to be. We'll see if anything comes out of the top, and it doesn't. It's got oil in it. Looks fairly clean. So we'll go ahead and take the drain bowl out. We'll see how much it's got. It's supposed to have about 5 ounces in it or so. All right, that pretty much stopped dripping. We'll go ahead and snug that up. And this is what I'm using. Valvoline Full Synthetic SynPower Gear Oil 75W90. Let's see. Okay, recommended for hypoid differentials, conventional or limited slip where API GL-5 is specified, which is what this is. It says right on here, SAE 80. So 75-90 is good enough for me. Yeah, the oil level's right up to the threads. That's the way I like it to be. Make sure that O-ring's got a little bit of oil on it. That'll help seal it. Now when you tighten this, you don't have to get gorilla tight. It's got an O-ring on it. So that's about all you need. It doesn't need a lot. That was on there way too tight. Alright, final drive oil change is complete. Now it's time to change the oil and filter. And I have the bike level. As you can see, I have two 2x6s, which is 1.5 inch each. So that's about 3 inches underneath the kickstand. And then on the other side, I just have this jack underneath this mount right here, which keeps the bike nice and level. And before we change the oil, I kind of want to see how much oil is in it. I started the bike up and I ran it. Let me clean that off. and I ran it for a little bit to warm the engine oil up, and it looks like it's up about halfway between low and full. That's probably about where it needs to be. I'll just leave that loose for right now, and we'll go ahead and drop the oil and filter. I just got me a 1 gallon container, and I cut the top of it out, and that's what I'm going to use to dump the oil in. This holds like 3.1 quart or 3.1 liter, I believe. So this jug is going to be pretty full whenever I'm done. It's kind of tight in here to get to this drain plug, but it's a 17 millimeter. That hose for the water pump is kind of like right in the way. See if I can take that socket off. Alright, now let's see if I can get this out without making too much of a mess. Yeah, the oil doesn't look too bad actually. I'm going to go ahead and change the sealing washer. Put a new one on it. This is a 14 millimeter. I'll show you. Here's the bolt size. 13.71. Alright, I'll take me an oil filter socket, and I'll loosen this oil filter up. Alright, I'll go ahead and take it all the way off here. Let that oil run out. Looks like it's about done on the drain plug. Looks like that's a genuine Honda filter. And I've got a genuine parts Honda filter to put back in it. And if you want to know the part number, that's it right there. Then we'll clean this surface off, make sure it doesn't have anything on it. Because you never know, sometimes if people don't pay attention, they could change that filter and it could have an O-ring stuck to it. And then you go to put yours on, now you got two, so you got to be really careful. Okay, so what we want to do is get this filter where we just feel it starting to seep. And then we want to go about another 3/4 of a turn, so we're going to put a piece of tape on it. Like this. And we're going to run it around. Okay, that's 1/4. We want to go about 1/2 to 3/4 of a turn at the most. So I'm just going to turn this just a little bit more. I think that's about 1/2. There we go. That's almost straight across. That's about 1/2, so that's going to be good. That's tight enough. And then we'll put our drain bolt with our new sealing washer in. Tighten that up and it should be good. Alright, Drain bolt's tight. Our filter's good and tight. We wipe everything down underneath here. I think we're ready to add some oil. And the book calls for 10W40. So that's what I'm putting in it. Regular Valvoline 4-stroke motorcycle oil. And it calls in the book for 3.1 liters. I made a mark right there about 3.1 liters. There's liters on this side, quarts on this side. It's about 3.3 quarts, 3.1 liters. As you can see here, I put 3 full ones and a partial of the 4th one. All right, let's go ahead and add it in. All right, full. Now I'll put the cap back in it. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this back up on the dipstick because we're gonna start it up and let it run and idle. We're gonna come over here and start it up and let it run and idle for about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, it's been sitting for about 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5. I cleaned the oil up, dumped the oil in an approved container, got everything cleaned up. So while I did that, it's been sitting. So we'll check it. Just gently rest it in there and pull it out. And as you can see, or if you can see, it's about halfway up the stick. That's about where it's supposed to be. We'll check it again. And I'll show you. It's up a little bit past halfway, but not much. All right, the last thing that I want to do today is I want to change the brake fluid in the front brake. So I have this pin. It's a brake fluid tester. I got it on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description for this. But I want to test the tester before we try it out on the oil that's in the bike. So I'm going to try water first. It's supposed to have a moisture content to tell you what how much moisture is in it. If it's green, it's good. It means it doesn't have much moisture, 0%. It's okay as long as it's got 1 or 2%, but it's bad if it's got 3 to 4% moisture in the brake fluid. So we're going to check pure water first. We'll stick it in the water, push the button. As you can see, all the lights are lit up, so we know that that's reading correctly. Pure water. All right, so we'll wipe it off. And then we'll put our water bottle cap back on. And we'll take a little bit of this brake fluid and we're going to pour this in a container. And we're going to see what this shows. Now this right out of the container is showing 0%. So this gauge must be accurate. So now we can take it over and measure ours and see what ours is. Alright, I don't have very good luck of breaking these screws loose lately, but it looks like this one did good. Alright. I like it when a plan comes together. Screws come out really easily. Okay, and we'll take our lid off. And there should be a plastic and a rubber. And they're coming out together. Well, that master cylinder is full. Okay, there's the rubber with the plastic. And then this has a plastic floaty thing in it. I'm going to take that out. We'll wipe it off. Well, this brake fluid is really dirty, but we're going to test it. Let's see what we got. Well, as you can see, it's all the way up, the moisture content, all the way up into the red, so the brake fluid's got too much moisture in it. There's several ways of getting this brake fluid out. I'm just going to soak it up in a rag. I could just bleed it all out down below and do it that way, but I'm going to start out by getting as much as I can out up here. Alright, as you can see, mine's really clean. Shouldn't get too much air in the system cleaning it out this way. It's still got oil all the way up to this bleeder, up to this suction port right here. Now, if your sight glass is cloudy or you can't see through it, don't use brake clean or starting fluid, anything like that to clean the glass. If your glass is not visible or you can't see through it, because that does happen over time, you can use a little bit of WD-40 on it. WD-40 will clean it without making it hazy, because believe me, if you use brake clean or starting fluid, you'll turn that window hazy and you won't be able to see through it very well anyway. Well, let's go ahead and pour a little bit in of fresh fluid. Okay, then we'll take our bleeder cap off. We'll put us a hose on it. I'll run a hose down into this cup down here, this bowl. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this breaks loose, and it does. And I'm going to pump it up, and we're going to run all the rest of that fluid that's in this caliper and in the brake line out. We're going to bleed it out. Pump it up. I'm going to keep doing this until it's all out. Until the fluid that comes out of this hose is nice and clean. So we'll take our hose off. We'll probably drain some of this out. Get this out of the way. Alright, we'll clean that off and put the cap back on. That's what I took out of it. Quite a bit. That's what was in the caliper and in the line, plus a little bit extra. So we'll top this back off. That ought to be good. We don't want to get overfilled on it. Then we'll put our little plastic float thing back in it. Put our rubber seal. Now this thing will expand if your brake fluid gets low, and keep pushing the fluid out. Okay, and we'll set that on. And we'll put the riding facing us, the rider. Okay. And we'll try it a few times to make sure that nothing leaks out of it. We got good brakes, fresh fluid, can see it through the window. I think we did good. You got to make sure that if you're doing this, you don't want to drip any brake fluid onto your paint, because it'll make your paint peel off if you leave it sit on long enough. So make sure you wipe everything down when you're done doing this job, and try your best not to spill anything. Okay, spark plug are changed, all 4 of them. Changed the final drive oil, changed the engine oil and filter, and the brake fluid in the front. I'm pretty much done. Everything's caught up on the maintenance, I think. The only thing left is the coolant, and I need to check that and see if that's full. If it's full, I'll probably let it go for a little while. I may end up doing a coolant change video somewhere down the line, but I'm going to ride it a while now because everything else is caught up. It doesn't run hot. I've never had the coolant light come on, but I did check it. It's in a kind of an odd location to see. It's like way down here through this opening in the tank, and the fillet is way back here behind this floorboard, or beside the floorboard right here, and it fills this tank way down here. So it's kind of odd, but whatever works. All right, I appreciate everybody coming along and watching. That's all I have for you today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and leave me a comment. I sure appreciate it. I'm thankful for all of you guys and watching through all of this. I know some of it's kind of boring, but I've done a search on YouTube, and I didn't see a whole lot of maintenance videos on this bike actually, and it's a popular bike. Kind of surprised me. So I wanted to add a few of them to the community and maybe help some people out. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.